Hello and welcome students. I'm Ajay, your English educator. I welcome you all on Oliveboard's e-learning platform. So at first, let me know about I'm audible to you or not. Just keep it. Now we are going to discuss about the Revision Express batch. This is the first class of our Revision Express batch, and we are going to discuss the very particular topic that is called para-jumble structure. So at first, let me know about it, that am I audible to you? Please go on. Yes, very good evening. Very good evening, very good evening. Just do share the session at first. After that, we are going to discuss the particular session. Okay, I'm audible, everything is perfect. So this is the first class of Revision Express batch that will be taken on YouTube session also, and the particular batch is paid, so you can enroll yourself in the paid batch also. Now we are going to discuss the very particular topic that we have already discussed about the session, that is para-jumble structure. That is para-jumble structure. If we talk about para-jumble structure, there will be a particular question from the given particular topic, and that will have 5 to 6 questions consisted. So here we are going to discuss from basic to advanced level, as we already discussed in a particular YouTube session, that what must be the tips and tricks for the particular session. So here we are going to discuss about the tips and tricks in a brief way, not in a long way. We are going to do it in a brief way, that we have already discussed that the starting point must be taken by starting points. The tips are we should start any type of sentence from in the beginning, once upon a time, or at first. We can start from here, or we can conclude the sentences with eventually, finally, hence, thus and therefore, as we have already talked about it. I have already given you 10 tips to solve a para-jumble structure without getting hesitant. So now we are going to rediscussing it, like that. First is starting words, and the second one is tips for the conclusive words. That is eventually, finally, hence, thus and therefore. After that, the tip third is noun pronoun method. If we are going to discuss any type of para-jumble structure, we will definitely follow the noun pronoun method. It means if a noun is given, if a pronoun is given, that will definitely relate to a noun. Is it clear? Tip 4 is use common factor. We can use common factor for 2 or more sentences. To connect 2 or more sentences, we can use the common factor also. We can go for the pair construction of tense. As we discussed in the last video, we can go for the pair construction of tense. We can go for the pair construction of pair conjunction. And we can also discuss the structure of pair conjunction and fixed preposition. After that, we can go for the chronological order. If we have given a type of sentence that is dependent on chronological base, we can go for it. We can follow the rules of subject verb agreement. We can follow the structure. We can follow the structure of a sentence and subject verb agreement. We can follow the DNA method, and that is the most important method while we are going to solve any type of para-jumble. That is called DNA method. And DNA method is if we can connect A, B, C and D. We can A, B, C and D from this to this one. It means the last part of A will be connected to the first of B, and the last part of B will be connected to first of C, and the last part of C will be connected to the first of D. After that, we can go for the short pair method. If we are going to construct any type of para-jumble structure, we should not go for the complete structure like A, B, C, D, E and F. We should go for the short pairs like A, B, B, C, C, D or A, B, C. Is it clear? After that, we can follow the option elimination method also. So, have got it? Let me know about it, yes or no. We have already discussed in a session that what type of tips we should discuss, what type of tips we should use while we are going to solve any type of para-jumble structure. After that, we are going to start a particular question for the session, and you are going to solve it. We will redefine it, that how we can use tips and tricks. So, let me know at first. Okay, so here is the question. Here is the first question for this particular session. Now you are going to solve it. First question of para-jumble structure. And the question is, we have 5 parts. We have 5 parts. Hopefully, everything is visible to you. Hopefully, everything is visible to you. There are 5 parts for that particular question, and that is, A is, it is a mammoth task for the government alone to facilitate health and hygiene facilities to a large section of India's 1.3 billion citizens, not to mention malaria, dengue and viral diseases causing diarrhea and other outbreaks affecting a majority of Indian living in unhygienic conditions. Private initiatives have to come forward and companies must share responsibilities so that the mission of a cleaner India is achieved. It also faces the menace of open defecation and manual scavenging, along with a severe shortage of proper drainage system in rural and semi-urban areas. India lacks proper health infrastructure, including sanitation facilities, garbage management system and primary health services. So let me know what must be the answer, what must be the sequence of this given question. What must be the sequence of this given question? Do it fast. There are 5 sentences, we have to repair it, we have to make it jumble and make a complete formation of a para. So go for it. And hopefully everything is visible to you. Is it visible or not? Let me know about it at first. Okay. Go for it, go for it, go for it. You have 2 minutes for this question. After that, we are going to solve this. And the pair must be in a very particular order. Yes, yes, everything is visible. Meditation, Angel is saying it must be EDCAB. Okay. EDCAB. That's quite good. Let me know the answers at first. After that, we are going to discuss it. Okay. EBACD. Okay. EBACD. Okay. So, ready to start it? Like first sentence is saying it is a mammoth task for the government. It is a mammoth task. It is a mammoth task. What must be a mammoth task for the government? What must be a mammoth task for government? The government alone to facilitate health and hygiene. To facilitate health and hygiene facilities to a large section of India's 1.3 billion citizens. It means it is a mammoth. Okay. Yeah, this is the session that is free for you, and after that you have to enroll in Revision Express batch yourself to get more content also. It is a mammoth task for the government. It is a mammoth task for the government. Okay, not to mention malaria. Okay, here we are going to mention something that is malaria, dengue and viral diseases causing diarrhea and other outbreaks affecting a majority of Indians living in unhygienic conditions. So everything like malaria, dengue and viral diseases depends on unhygienic conditions. Okay, private initiatives have to come forward and companies must share responsibility so that the mission of a cleaner India is achieved. So what is our mission? What is our mission? To clean India. To clean India is our particular mission. It also faces what also faces? It also faces. So here it and it. That must be pronoun. That will be used for a noun. Okay. Come for it. India lacks proper health infrastructure, including sanitation facilities, garbage management system, and primary health services. Okay. So now go for the sequence. If we are going to start, as you said, like Shubhangshi. Sorry, I can't. Okay. What must be your name? Okay, C sings EBDAC, EBDAC, EBDA and C. Okay, go to related. What I said already said you that you must go for the short period like AB, BC, CD, DE, as you know about it. So we are going to start with E. Everyone is going to start with E. But is it possible? Is it possible to start with E? Yeah, sir. We can say that India lacks proper health infrastructure. How do you know that India lacks proper health infrastructure, including sanitation facilities, garbage management system, and primary health services? How do you come to know about it? How do you come to know about it? Is there any reason? And the reason was already discussed in the particular segments. We should start it from the third part. How can we start it from the third part? Private initiatives has to come forward, and companies must share responsibilities so that mission of a cleaner India is achieved. Now come to the first point. After third, come to the first point. That is, it's C, and after that we are going to discuss A. It's C, and after that we are going to discuss A. It is a mammoth task for the government alone. Here is a word, that is alone. It means the government is not able to facilitate health and hygiene facilities. So it needs private companies, it needs private sectors, private initiatives that have to come forward and share their responsibilities so the mission must be completed. Mission of a cleaner India is achieved. So it must be started from the section C, and after that we will relate it with A. After that, because you don't know that how we lacks proper health infrastructure. How can you know about it? Let me know about it. That do you know that India lacks proper health infrastructure, including sanitation facilities or garbage management system? How do you come to know about it? We don't know about it. We knew that was the reason, and after that we came to know that yeah, India lacks proper health infrastructure, including sanitation, and the reason is given already in the particular segments. So it must be the last part. Of the section. It must be the last part, that India lacks proper health infrastructure. So we should start it from the proportion of C. After that we will go for A, and after that, what must be the sequence? Now we have come to know that private initiatives have to come forward and companies must share responsibilities so that the mission of a cleaner India is achieved. It is a mammoth task for the government alone to facilitate health and hygiene facilities to a large section of India's 1.3 billion citizens. Not to mention malaria, dengue and viral disease. And the next part is, it also faces the menace to open defecation and manual scavenging, along with a severe shortage of proper drainage system in rural and semi-urban areas. What we are talking about? We are talking about the government. That government also faces these issues. And the issues are defecation and manual scavenging, along with a severe shortage of proper drainage system in rural and semi-urban areas. So it must be CAD. After that we will go for the second or the last part. Not to mention malaria, dengue and viral diseases causing diarrhea and other outbreaks affecting a majority of Indian livings in unhygienic condition. After that we came to know. It must be B. And after that we came to know that it must be E. So the right sequence will be CAD, B and E. CAD, B and E. We started from here, but it was wrong, because the reason is we don't know that how India lacks in proper health infrastructure, and that is the reason. That India lacks proper health infrastructure. India lacks in proper sanitation facilities. India lacks in garbage management system and primary health services. Because there are many reasons. We have faced malaria, dengue, viral disease causing from it. Majority of Indian livings are unhygienic condition, and other part is that is D also. It also faces the menace to open defecation and manual scavenging, along with a severe shortage of proper drainage system in rural and semi-rural, semi-urban area, semi-urban areas. So right answer will be CADBE. CADBE. What must be the first answer? Let me know about it. That was CADB. Okay, CADBE. So what must be the first sentence? C. What must be the first sentence? C. Option B will be the correct answer. What must be the second? A. C, A, D, B and E. Third one is D. Third one is D. Okay. It must be D. It must be D. Here is a typing mistake. We can go for it. We can go for it. The right sequence. You must know the right sequence. That is C, A, D, B and E. Is it? C, A, D, B, E. Yeah, C, A, D, B and E. Fourth one is B and the fifth one is E. The fifth one is E. Have you got it? Yes or no? Please let me know about it. Have you got it, the particular point or not? After that, we are going to discuss the second. Here are the six part. Here are the six part. Now, come to the next question and let me know, do you get the point or no? So there was something difficult to understand on the last point, that was E. That why, what should start it with from E or the other one. So E is given to the particular reason, that how India lacks, we should know about it. Okay. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now, for the next question is, second question on your screen, and that is, under extant laws, political parties were free to accept case without limit as donations, subject to all contributions in excess of 20,000 being disclosed to the election commission by way of a report. For donors who seek, okay, perfect. Go for it. What must be the second? For donors who seek anonymity, the idea of electoral bearers bonds has been mooted, which can be purchased from authorized banks in non-case mode and gifted to political parties. A cap of 2,000 has been imposed on case donations. Filing of income tax returns has been made mandatory for political parties to claim tax exemption. One of the key criticisms leveled against the Modi government in its ongoing war on black money was that it had done very little to tackle the prodigious use of unaccounted money in elections. But the finance minister has proposed change in 2017 budget to cleanse the system of political funding. Now go for the second one. What must be the sequence of the given question? Go for it. You have 60 seconds to solve it. After that, we are going to solve it. Okay, go for it. So who will be the first to give the answer of the particular question? Now we are going to solve it. Go and get it. Go for it. Now that's all. So we are going to solve it. Under extant laws, political parties were free to accept case without limiters donation, subject to all contributions in excess of 20,000 being disclosed to the election commission. by way of a report. Okay, so now we are going to solve it. How we can start it? If we are going to for the particular, okay, that's it, particular question. Under extant laws, political parties were free to accept case without limit as donation. Okay, we are now talking about the political parties who are able to take 20,000, that is we are free to accept case without limit as donation, okay. For donors who seek anonymity, the idea of electoral bearer bonds has been mooted, okay. For whom? Donors who seek anonymity. A cap of 2,000 has been imposed on case donations. Filing of income tax return has been made mandatory for political parties to claim tax exemptions. Okay, meditation is saying it must be started with C, and no one is there to tell me the right answer of the question. Is there anyone? So we are going to discuss it. One of the key criticism. So should it start from E? Should it start from E? No, sir. We can't start, because one of the key criticism leveled against the Modi government, one of the key criticism, we can't start from here, but is a contradictory word, that must not be started from here, but is a contradictory word. It means a sentence is already has said on the in the particular statement, in the put of particular statement. Now we are going to discuss the starting of the session. The starting of the session means starting of this question, that is filing of income tax returns. Filing of income tax return has been made mandatory for political parties. Now we have started about talking about political parties. In the particular statement, we have started about political parties, that income tax returns has been made mandatory for political parties. Why it is? Because we want to know that what type of claims they are doing, what type of donations they are accepting. So there is a perception that is filing of income tax returns has been made mandatory for political parties. So it must start with D. Yeah, definitely. Panchi, Pawar. Definitely it will be started with D section. After that we are going to discuss the second one is, so filing of income tax returns has been made mandatory for political parties to claim tax exemption. If you want to tax exemption, then you should go for the income tax returns. After that, for donors who seek anonymity, the idea of electoral bearer bonds has been mooted, which can be purchased from authorized banks in non-case mode and gifted to political parties. So how we can file it? For donors who seek anonymity, for donors who donates the money, who seek anonymity, the idea of electoral bearer bonds has been mooted, which can be purchased from authorized bank. If you want to go for any type of donation for the particular party, you can go for the electoral bearer bond, and that is accessible to from an authorized bank in non-case mode and gifted to political parties. So it must be B. D, B. After that we will go for the next one. Now we are going to discuss, if we have discussed B and D, now we have to discuss under extant laws political parties were free to accept case without limit, and the C is a cap of 2,000 has been imposed on case donations, okay, and the E is one of the key criticism leveled against the Modi government, and F it's okay. But the finance minister has proposed change in 2017 budget to cleanse the system of political funding. Now we have come to the point. So there was a way, if someone wants to donate to a political party, he have to go for the authorized bank, and there will be an electoral bond that will be given to a political party in case mode, non-case mode system, in non-case mode system. But in 2017, the finance minister has proposed change in budget, and he said that there will be a clearance, the system of political funding that has been changed, in 2017. So the right sequence will be F. So D, B and F, D, B and F. Now what must be the next sequence? So we have also gone for F, we have also gone for F, we have also gone for D and B. Now we have only three parts. If the finance minister has proposed changing in 2017 budget to cleanse the system of political funding, now what must be the sequence? The third one is a cap of 2000. A cap of 2000 has been imposed on cash donations. There will be a cap of 2000 has been imposed on cash donation. If you want to donate cash, there will be a cap of 2000. That will be, the sequence will be C. Now we have only two parts. That one is A and that one is E. A and E. So what must be the right sequence? Okay. Just a minute. Go for it. Have we discussed it? Okay. So we have to start it with D at first. Let me clear it first. That we should go for D, B, and that will be. But the finance minister proposed change in 2017 budget to cleanse the system of political funding. So it must be one of the criticism leveled against the Modi government in its ongoing war of black money was that it had done very little to tackle the prodigious use of unaccounted money elections. Okay. So there will be another sequence. Sorry for it. That will be D, B, D, B. That will be 4. That will be 4. That will be 2. That will be 4. That will be 2. That will be 5. That will be 5. Now come to the next point. 4 to 5. After that we will discuss it from 3. After that the 3 will be there, because a cap of 2000 has been imposed on cash donation. After that we will go for 6 and 1. That is the right pair. Now I am gonna discuss with you that what must be the right pair. 4 2 5 3 6 1. It must be D, B, E, C, F and A. This will be the right sequence. We should start it from D. Filing of income tax returns has been made mandatory for political parties to claim tax exemption. After that we'll go for second. For donors who seek anonymity, the idea of electoral bearer bonds has been mooted, which can be purchased by authorized bank in non-case mode and gifted to political parties. After that we will go for E. One of the key criticisms leveled against the Modi government in its ongoing war on black money was that it had done very little to tackle the prodigious of unaccounted money in elections. That is the criticism. On Modi government. A cap of 2000 has been imposed on cash donation. After that, but the finance minister has proposed change in 2017 budget to cleanse the system of political funding, and that is under extant laws political parties were free to accept cash without limit as donations, subject to all contributions in excess of 20,000 being disclosed to the election commission by way of a report. So the right sequence will be D, B, E, C, F and A. Okay, it was something misunderstanding. That was the reason. So D, B, E, C, F and A. D, B, E, C, F and A. Now go for it. What must be the first sequence? First sentence must be the D. Okay. So here is another option, that will be D. The right sequence will be D. The first will be D. After that we will go for the next B. Second will be B. The third one will be go for it 5. That is E. E. The fourth one will be that is the first one was C, F and A. C, F and A. C, F and A. The last is A. The last is A. So it must be A. It must be A. Is it clear? Go for it. Go for the next one. Question number 3. That was really difficult question. That was really a difficult question. And there was something mistake in the particular example and options. So don't go for it. This generally impacts human health. About 69% of India's wastewater is untreated. Therefore, wastewater should be treated, or WHO guidelines should be followed for restricted use of untreated water. Untreated wastewater is contaminated with pollutants. For example, these guidelines prescribed discontinuation of irrigation with untreated wastewater for a few days before harvesting of crops in order to allow pathogens to die in sunlight. Such water, when used to agricultural crops, is often polluted with urban waste containing not only a mix of chemical and biological pollutants but also high level of pathogens from excreta. Okay. Come to the next point. Come to the next question. Third question on your screen. The third one is on your screen. We should start it with, you have 2 minutes to solve this question. After that we are going to discuss it, and that is not on that much part, because today we are going to discuss only about basic and moderate level. After that, tomorrow we are going to discuss the advanced level of the question. This generally impacts human health. About 69% of India's wastewater is untreated. Okay, go for it, go for it, go for it. Shubh Lakshmi is saying A and E. That was the answer of the last question. Now, what must be the right pair for the particular question? There are 6 sentences given to you and asking about the para-jumble structure, the right para-jumble structure for the particular para. Go for it. DF. Okay. So meditation is saying he is going for a short pair and he is saying that it must be D and F. Okay. Someone else? Is there anyone who wants to tell about the question, that what must be the answer of the particular question? This generally impacts human health. Okay. Come for it. Go for it. This generally impacts human health. Do you know what is this? This is a pronoun. This is a pronoun. Demonstrative pronoun, that is a type of pronoun. That is a type of pronoun, and that will be if. If there will be a verb, the right concept is if there will be a verb after, just after this, that, these or those, that will be considered as a pronoun. And if there will be a pronoun, there will be a noun after this, that, these and those, that will be demonstrative adjective. So here this is a pronoun. This is a pronoun, and pronoun must be used on the base of, or on the representation of a noun, on the base of or on the representation of a noun. So we can't start with from the first one. A must not be the starting point. About 69% of India's wastewater is untreated. So in the second part, we have discussed about 69% of water of about 69% of India's wastewater is untreated. So here we have discussed about the wastewater that is untreated. That is untreated. Therefore is a sequence that will be the ending point. That will be the ending point, as we have discussed in the tips second. As we have already discussed in the tip second, that we should use therefore to conclude any type of sentence. So therefore wastewater should be treated, or WHO guidelines should be followed for restricted use of untreated water. Untreated wastewater is contaminated with pollutants. Okay. Now we are going to discuss. Okay. Angel is saying it must be B, D, F, C, E and A. Very good. B, D, F, C, okay, E and A. And Shubhalakshmi is saying it must be D, B, A, C, E, F. D, B, A, C, E, F. So, okay, move on. We should start it. Let me clean it first. That untreated wastewater is contaminated with pollutants. Okay. Do you know that we have already discussed about this untreated wastewater in a particular statement, and that was B. What I have already told you, that there will be a common factor. Method that is the tip. Common factor method. So we can identify the common factors in the given statements. So here is the common factor. Here we are talking about wastewater is untreated. 69% of wastewater is untreated, and now we are going to discuss untreated water is contaminated with pollutants. That what it contaminated? With pollutants it is contaminated. So we can pair it. It must be B or D also. We can go for it. Definitely we can go for it. Now we are going to tell about, for example, these guidelines. What type of guidelines are there? If I am talking about the example, what type of examples? These guidelines prescribe discontinuation of irrigation with untreated wastewater for a few days before harvesting of crops in order to allow pathogens to die in sunlight. Okay, these guidelines. Who gave the guideline? Okay. Now come to the next point. Such water when used. Okay. Such water, which type of water? It must be untreated. So the right sequence must be, we should start it with B. That we will say about 69% of India's wastewater is untreated. Untreated wastewater is contaminated with pollutants. This generally impacts human health. If the water is untreated, definitely it will impact on the human health also. So the right sequence will be B, D and A. The three pair is B, D, A. That is the first pair. B, D and A. After that, this is a pronoun that is used for the noun, and that noun is there is untreated wastewater is contaminated with pollutants. This generally impacts human health. After that, we can go for the next pair. And that is, for example, these guidelines prescribe discontinuation of irrigation with untreated wastewater for a few days before harvesting of crops in order to allow pathogens to die in sunlight. Okay, such water. After that, we can go for the next pair. After that, okay, we have A, B, C, D, E and F. Six pairs. So we have already discussed about the three pairs. Now we are going for the fourth one. And that must be, for example, these guidelines prescribe discontinuation of irrigation with untreated wastewater for a few days before harvesting of crops in order to allow pathogens to die in sunlight. We have already discussed about pathogens that will die in sunlight. Such water when used for agriculture. We have already discussed that we should use this type of water in harvesting of crops. So now we are going to tell about the type of water, and that is, such water when used for agriculture crops is often polluted with urban waste containing not only a mix of chemical and biological pollutants, but also high level of pathogens from excreta. So what must be the right sequence? It must be 5 or 6. It must be 5 or 6. It must be E or F. E or F, and the last pair will be therefore. The last pair will be that is conclusive. That is conclusive. We have already discussed in the tip second. That is conclusive word. Therefore, wastewater should be treated, or WHO guidelines should be followed by restricted use of untreated water. Okay. Okay. B, D, A, F, C, E. Okay, go for it. B, D, A, F, C, and E. It must be B, D, A. That we have already discussed. We have already discussed. If we go for the A, and after that we go for F. After that we go for F. Such water, when used for agriculture crops, is often polluted with urban waste containing not only a mix of chemical and biological pollutants but also high level of pathogens from excreta. For example, these guidelines must be what are these guidelines? What are these guidelines? Is this related to this? WHO guidelines should be followed for restricted use of untreated water. So it must be C after F, after it must be E and F before C. Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay. Everyone is giving the different answer. Everyone is giving the different answer. And now we are going to solve it. We have already discussed the three strong pair for B, D and A. That will be relatable to the particular statement. Now we will discuss about the last one, and that is if we go for C, therefore wastewater should be treated. Okay, C must be the last one, because these guidelines that has already discussed. This is the right pair. That we have already discussed. It must be E, F and C, because therefore is a conclusive word. The right pair will be B, D, A, and that is authentic also. B, D, A, E, F and C. That will be the right pair. That will be the most right pair. Don't go for it. Don't worry about it. That will be the right pair. So now we can discuss about it, that we should start with about 69% of India's wastewater is untreated. Untreated wastewater is contaminated with pollutants. After that, this generally impacts human health. After that, for example, these guidelines prescribe discontinuation of irrigation with untreated wastewater for a few days before harvesting of crops in order to allow pathogens to die in sunlight. Such water, when used for agriculture crops, is often polluted with urban waste containing not only a mix of chemical and biological pollutants but also high level of pathogens from excreta. After that, we will go. Therefore, wastewater should be treated. WHO guidelines should be followed. WHO guidelines. It must be, should be treated. It must be treated. It should be treated. Or that is the word. That we can't relate C. We can't relate C before E. That is the word. That is option. That is optionally. So the right pair will be B, D, A, E, F and C. E, F and C. Now go for it. Okay. So what must be the right one? The first one will be the right one. First one will be that is A or B. It must be B. So B is the right pair for the first one. B is the right pair for the first one. That is B, D, A, E, F, C. B, D, A, E, F and C. Okay. Now B, D, A. So it must be, second one must be D. The third one is A. The fourth one is EFC. Fourth one is E. F. Okay. And the last one is C. C. Yes or no? Do you get it? That is something difficult in the particular session, and the level of the examination will be as it is as in this particular session. So don't go for it that there will be a basic level, that will be a story based structure for parajumble structure. There will be a passage, there will be a specific segment for parajumble structure in the examination also, as you have already knew about it. It is its significance in more relevant today when the world is in dire need of newness. From Hinduism to Islam, Judaism to Christianity, every religion has passed for change. Spring was celebrated first in Iran 4000 years ago. The earth renews itself, the human body changes every 7 years only. The human beings cling to the old. Okay. Go for it. The fourth question. And that newness can be embraced if all the old is abolished. It came to be known. Okay. Come for it. Go for it. What must be the right pair for the question fourth? Are you getting it or no? Yes or no? Let me know about it at first. Are you getting the points? The fourth question on your screen is, its significance is more relevant today when the world is in dire need of newness. From Hinduism to Islam, Judaism to Christianity, every religion has passed for change. Spring was celebrated first in Iran 4000 years ago. The earth renews itself, the human body changes every 7 years, only the human beings cling to the old, and that newness can be embraced if all the old is abolished. It came to be known as Navroz or New Day when it was pronounced thus by a band of people who belong to the oldest religion in the world, Zoroastrianism. Go for it. What must be the right pair for the fourth question? For the given fourth question, what must be the right pair? You will definitely know that what must be the right pair. What must be the starting point? Can you tell me what must be the starting point for the particular parajumble structure? It must be for A, B, C and D or F. Okay, there is no F, there is only E. A, B, C, D and E. There are 5 options only. So we should start it from its significance in more relevant today when the world is in dire need of newness. Okay, its significance. What's significance? We can also ask that what's significance. Okay, that what is hidden. From Hinduism to Islam, Judaism to Christianity, every religion has passed for change. So from here to here, every religion has passed for change. Spring was celebrated first in Iran 4000 years ago. The earth renews itself. Now the examples are, the earth renews itself, the human body changes every 7 years, only the human beings cling to the old, and that newness can be embraced if all the old is abolished. It came to be known as Navroz. Okay, Angel is saying it must be D and A. It must be D and A. Okay, go for it, go for it, go for it. You have only 60 seconds for the particular question. Go for it. And then we have already discussed about the chronological order in the last video. You can also see the last session of parajumble structures where we have already discussed the tips and tricks in an elaborative method. So we have already discussed the chronological order. And if we go for the chronological order, it must be started with spring was celebrated first. First is the word that will be used for the starting of the session. First, in the beginning, once upon a time, first, that are the words that can start a particular statement, that can start a particular statement. Spring was celebrated first in Iran 4000 years ago. So it was first celebrated 4000 years ago in Iran. So the right pair will be C. The right pair will be C. So we have discussed spring was celebrated first in Iran 4000 years ago. After that we will go for its significance in more relevant today. If we see that what is spring's significance, what is spring's significance, its significance in more relevant today when the world is in dire need of newness, when the world is in the dire need of newness. It means we need something new, and that is A. What is new? What is new? From Hinduism to Islam, if we go for it, from Hinduism to Islam, Judaism to Christianity, every religion has passed for change. No, the earth renews itself, the human body changes every 7 years. Okay, it came to be known as Nowruz. Now come to the next point. If I ask you that we should start with the first particular statement, and that is spring was celebrated first in Iran 4000 years ago, its significance in more relevant today, when the world is in dire need of newness, and the newness is known, it came to be known as Nowruz or new day. What is the next meaning of newness? Nowruz or new day. We can also say newness to Nowruz or new day when it was pronounced thus by a band of people who belong to the oldest religion in the world, Zoroastrianism. If I talk about it, so we must go for E. It must be CAE. After that we will go for the next one. The earth renews itself. The human body changes every 7 years. Only the human beings cling to the old, and that newness can be embraced if all the old is abolished. So it must be E. And after that, from Hinduism to Islam, Judaism to Christianity, every religion has passed for change also. So it must be B. So the right sequence will be C, A, E, D and B. So the right sequence is C, A, E, D and B. So here we are going to discuss the answer of the particular question. C, A, E, D and B. It is. Go for it. Who got it? Is there any confusion? Do you have any type of confusion for the particular question? Which sentence should come first? The first one is C. It must be C. The second one is C, A, E, C, A. After that, the third one is E, D. The fourth one is D. And the fifth one is C, A, E, D and B. And B. The fifth one is B. So the right answer must be C, A, E, D and B. Is it clear? Do you get it? Sir, you are taking on the higher level. So the next question on your screen, and that is the question for you to do in a homework session. You will give me the answer in the particular comment box after completing the live session, or we will discuss it in tomorrow's class. That will be on paid batch for Revision Express batch phase 1. So you can enroll yourself on the particular batch while where we are going to discuss everything about the examination level, examination questions, previous year questions, and that will be on that level that can ask in the examination. The initiative was launched in September 2014 by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and the response from the manufacturers has also been pretty encouraging. And this is exactly why Make in India has been launched. India will soon go on to become the numero uno globally for FDI amongst the Asian countries and may surpass the USA as well. Make in India, an invitation to manufacture in India, is an initiative by our government to help India become a major manufacturing hub globally. The only thing required is ease of doing business in the country. India is a country with vast potential, be it manpower or infrastructure. So you can take the screenshot also for the particular question, and you are going to give me the answer. You are going to let me know the answer in the comment box after completing the live session. Do you have any type of query or any type of question? You can ask to me. You can ask to me, and I have already told you that we have already started the express revision batch, and that is the first class that is taken on the YouTube session. After that, tomorrow we are going to do the same session in paid batches also. It must be taken in paid batch only. Okay, so go for it, and you are going to give me the answer in comment box after completing the session. Okay. So, thank you so much. Have a great day. See you soon in the next session. Jai.